Hello, welcome back to my channel and welcome to another reading vlog where I'm gonna be reading Red Rising. So Red Rising is the first book in the Red Rising Saga, which is a sci-fi series, and I've been wanting to read the series for a while because I see almost everyone that I follow loving it. So I was, definitely very excited to get into it, and I've been missing like an epic sci-fi series in my life ever since I finished like the Expanse series. I miss just, having like a sci-fi world to go to. So yeah, it is finally time for me to read this book. And I just want to say that there are definitely spoilers in this video. And yeah, let's get into it. Okay, so I made it to page 138 of Red Rising, which is basically 1/3 in. And so in this world, the society is divided into groups of people that have like colors. So we have like the golds at the top of the society, they have like the most power, and then you have like a bunch of other colors, and then the reds at the bottom. And we're following Darrow, he's our main character, and he is a red, and he works in the mines in Mars, and supposedly they are like terraforming the planet for the other more important, more powerful colors to go live there when it's ready. And one day he's 16 and he is married, which absolutely insane to me. But he and his wife are found, like they're caught doing something that is basically like not allowed, and so they are both sentenced to death. And she's actually killed first, and she, like as she's dying, she tells Darrow that she wants him like to fight against the people that are like oppressing them. And he kind of really had no desire himself to fight, like he thought that it kind of like wasn't worth it. And then it's like his time to be killed, they're like sentenced to hang. But since there is like the gravity is not obviously the same as Earth, there's not enough like weight to pull them down, not enough gravity, and so like they have to actually be pulled by someone to be killed. And he is pulled, supposedly he dies, but he actually didn't die, and he's actually saved by a group of rebels. And so they show him that everything that he thought was true is actually not true. Like the planets, there are already other people like living on Mars, like in another area of Mars, like golds already live there, other colors already live there, but they just need the reds to keep working at the mines to like give them resources or whatever. And so he sees that everything that he thought was true is actually not true. And so that group of rebels, they want him to like infiltrate the golds and destroy them from the inside. And so they want him to turn into a gold. Like physically they are different, they are more perfect. And so they hire like some guy to turn him into a gold, like physically, and then also learn how to behave like a gold, how to speak like a gold, how to act like a gold. And we see him going through like that transformation, and then he like gets into the institute, and he like makes a friend sort of while he's there. And like the last thing that we saw, like because I read part 1 and 2, I got to part 3, and like the last scene of part 2 was Darrow like killing that like one sort of friend that he made to get like the one spot that existed, because like only one of them was gonna get the spot. And so he killed that guy to get the spot. And that is what I've read, that is where I'm at. I mean, it's like 1/3 of the book, but also it's not like too many pages. It's only like a little over 100 pages. And I'm pretty sure the other books in the series are like way longer, at least some of them. And actually I was expecting this book to be way longer, and I was surprised when I saw it was only like 300 and something pages. But yeah, that is where I'm at. Like, not that much has happened, but like we have the setup that I sort of already knew about, like from hearing people talk about the synopsis. And I'm liking it, but I'm not like, in love with it. Like, I am liking to learn about like this world and how the society works and like the different colors, like what they are kind of assigned to, like what they mean. Like, I'm liking to learn all of that, but I feel like I'm not really connected enough to the characters or like to Darrow specifically to be like, emotionally invested in this revolution. Like, I want the revolution to happen because obviously this is like a very unfair situation. So like, obviously I want them to succeed. But like, generally, like, I'm not, really that attached to Darrow yet. I feel like after we had this setup, now it's gonna get more exciting, and the more time I spend with Darrow, I'm probably gonna get more like invested in his story and like connect more to him, I assume. So like, so far so good. I'm liking it, but I'm not loving it. I'm not obsessed with it like I've seen some other people being. But I still have 2/3 of this book, and I do plan on continuing with the series, most likely. Even if I don't like absolutely love this book, I intend on continuing at least with a few more books to see if I will get like obsessed with it. So yeah, I will certainly have a lot of time with Darrow. I will hopefully get more connected to him. I will care more. But yeah, like, so far so good. I'm liking it, but I hope I will like it even more in the future. So yeah, I'm gonna read another third and I will get back to you. Okay, so I made it to page 262 of the book. And so Darrow and the other students of the institute, they are like divided into houses, and then they are basically like going to war against each other, and they have to like gain territory, and the goal of this whole thing is to basically learn how to gain and rule an empire. And Darrow starts kind of like panicking a little bit because the brother of the other student that like he killed to get the spot is like, his brother is in the same house as Darrow, so he is worried that he will find out that Darrow was the one who killed his brother. And then Darrow actually finds out that another one of the students is actually a red, because they speak like very differently, like the expressions, the words that they use are very different. And so like Darrow had to learn how to speak like a gold, and this other guy, he like speaks like a red, like he says some things that only a red would say. And when we discover that, I was like, okay, this can get really like a lot more interesting with this other character that is a red. But then Darrow is just like, okay, he's a red, he has to die, and he dies. So that was that. And then Darrow is like having a very important role like in the house, a very like leadership role in the house. And after some initial struggles, they start to do well, like the people in their house. And there is another student like in another house that like his nickname is the Jackal, and he wants Darrow, and Darrow's nickname is the Reaper. And the Jackal is actually like the arch governor's son, and so like he's supposed to be the one that wins this, because like there at the end there is a student that like wins, and he's supposed to be the one that wins, Jackal. And then Cassius eventually learns that it was Darrow who killed his brother. Like, he learns that from the Jackal, because Jackal wants to ruin Darrow's life. And so he learns that, and he's, obviously pissed about it. And he like leads Darrow into a trap, and they fight, and basically Cassius tries to kill Darrow. And like the end of what I read is Darrow like basically thinking that he's gonna die, but just like he didn't die at the end of part 1, he's obviously not gonna die at the end of part 3, which is where I stopped. So there's that. He's obviously not gonna die. But yeah, that is where I'm at. And like, I'm still not emotionally attached to Darrow or to anyone. Like, when anyone would be in danger or die, like I didn't care. And not only did I not care about like those particular people dying, because like sometimes I just care like about the main character, like about a couple of characters, and I don't care like what happens to other characters that much, but I care that like the characters that I care about lost someone that they cared about. But in this case, like I didn't even care that Darrow like lost a friend or two, because I'm also not like emotionally attached to Darrow either. And I mean, at this point, I wouldn't even care that much if Darrow himself died. Like, I know he's not gonna die, at least like obviously not this soon in the first book of the series, but you know, I wouldn't really care if he did, because I am not emotionally attached. And yeah, like I'm enjoying it. I'm like, my thoughts are basically the same as they were in the first update. Like I'm enjoying it. I'm enjoying to learn about the world, the society. I am liking to learn like their tactics, what they're trying to, I mean, learn at the same time themselves, and like the tactics that they're trying to implement, like the politics that they're trying to use between the houses. And yeah, I'm liking that, but I'm not loving it. I don't know, like I was also not expecting to spend like this much time like in the school, like in the institute. I thought we were gonna be like more in the real world. But like I get it. Like I get that Darrow has to go through this, but I'm not like having, you know, the best time. I'm not like obsessed with it. But I'm liking it. I'm still enjoying it. I hope it gets more like crazy towards the end. I hope it gets more, not even like more action packed, because it has been action packed. It's just action that I don't care that much about. So I hope I start caring more about what's happening and about the characters, especially about Darrow. Because like if I care about Darrow, I'm gonna care enough about like the people that he cares about, because I'm gonna be sad for him, you know? So I hope that I start caring more about Darrow. I hope things get crazier. And yeah, that's it so far. Those are my thoughts on the book. And yeah, I am going to finish it, and I'll be back with my thoughts on this last third, and also like on the book overall and my rating. Okay, so I finished Red Rising, and in this last third, obviously, you know, Darrow didn't die. Shocking. And he was actually saved by Mustang, who is like another student. And so like she saves him and like kind of takes care of him until he gets, you know, well enough. But then she gets sick, so Darrow takes care of her. And then Darrow is like warned to basically lose, because the Jackal is supposed to win because he's the Arch-Governor's son. And so if Darrow doesn't let Jackal win, he will be eliminated. But, you know, Darrow is obviously not gonna just do that. He's not just gonna lose, so he keeps, you know, fighting. And then he is like attacked again, and then he and his people, like the people of his house, they organize better and they actually get some like good wins. And then they actually go after the proctors, and the proctors are like the people in charge of the houses, and also like kind of in charge of the games, like in charge of this whole thing that is happening in the institute. And so they go after the proctors themselves. And then Darrow actually finally confronts the Jackal, and let's just say things don't go as well as Darrow was expecting them to go, and one of his friends, Pax, actually dies. And I think this was the first time that I, you know, actually cared about like a character death or a character, you know, suffering. So when Pax died, I actually cared because I did like Pax. And then, I mean, after that, like the Jackal, you know, escapes, and Darrow sends Mustang after Jackal with like his army to get the Jackal back. And then he learns, like Darrow learns from one of the proctors, that Mustang is actually Jackal's sister, twin sister, I think. So, you know, he is worrying that Mustang will not actually bring in the Jackal, and that she was, you know, actually loyal to her brother and not to Darrow. But turns out that Mustang does bring the Jackal back to Darrow, and then Darrow does like win in the end. And then like in the very end of the book, we see that Mustang and Jackal's father, he actually wants Darrow to work for him because he doesn't want Darrow to like reveal his secrets, that he tried to like get his son to win, that he tried to intervene in all of this. So he wants Darrow to work for him and like keep his secrets. And Darrow does agree in the end to work for Mustang and Jackal's father. And that is pretty much how it ends. So let's go into my final thoughts. So starting off with the characters, I already said that I didn't really connect that much to the main character, or really any character like in general. But I mean, I do like Darrow. I obviously like what he's doing. I want to see where it goes, but I am not like very, connected, very emotionally invested in the story. But I do definitely like him, and I also did like Pax, and I do like Mustang as well. And like I said, I actually did care when Pax died, so maybe I am like starting to connect to the characters a bit more. And like the last, I think 3 chapters, I was actually getting like really, really into it. I was getting really like invested. I was on the edge of my seat because I was very curious and honestly stressed to see where it was going. So yeah, I definitely think I connected more towards the end, which obviously is great. And I think I just expected this. And, probably this is like my own issue because I didn't really read the synopsis. I just went into the book not really blind because I've heard people talk about this book. So like I kind of knew what it was about, but I didn't read the synopsis myself. So I didn't expect this to be like in the institute so much. I expected it to be more in the real world, which I'm assuming we will get more like in the future. So it just was not exactly what I was expecting. But it definitely had like a lot of action scenes, like fast-paced scenes that kept me very engaged, even if when I wasn't like, absolutely loving the book. So that was great as well. And I did really like to learn about this world, about how the society works and like the strategies that they had to do and like all the politics. I did like that as well. And the ending definitely got me very excited for the future, like the way that this one ended. So I'm very excited to continue with the series, and like I absolutely will continue with the series for sure. I actually already bought the next 3 books in the series, so yeah, definitely will continue. And yeah, I liked it. I just didn't, love it, but I definitely was getting more invested and connecting more towards the end. So yeah, I'm excited for the future, and I am giving this one 3.5 stars. And so yeah, that is it for this video. So thank you so much for watching. I really hope that you have enjoyed it. And if you did, give it a like and subscribe, and I'll talk to you next time. Bye!